Hi there, and thank you for joining today for Demo Wednesdays, and Happy New Year. I'm sure as you came back to the office over the past week, you had quite a bit of email to catch up on. And probably within that large stack of emails, there might be some phish. In other words, mail intended to take your company information or dollars and exfiltrate them to the bad guys. So what this demo is about today is highlighting what kind of phish there are out there and what kind of web protection methods you could use to reduce, or in some cases, eliminate those temptations from reaching your employees' inboxes. My name is Carl Rogers. I'm a solutions engineer here with Area 1, and this is our Demo Wednesday series. So you're welcome to refer your friends or colleagues over for future sessions. I'll leave some contact information at the end of this deck. And as we go along here, you're always welcome to write some questions down, reach out to me via email, give us a call. We're more than happy to answer any questions that may come from the material that you're about to see here on your screen. So what is phish? And that's a great question. It really is a type of web correspondence meant to trick you into thinking that a party is a legitimate source, whether that is going to be an outside party, an internal employee, or let's say an external service like Office or Google, with the intent that they want to trick you into sharing your passwords, your financial information, passing over company trade secrets in a quick, swift motion. And 95% of all breaches within an organization begin with phishing. And this is something that goes by several names. As you see here on the screen, there are several ways that a phish can reach your recipients. You may have heard of spear phishing, where your executives might be targeted. You may see things like spoofing, where the sender is not who they claim to be, and so on. So as we move along here, I wanted to highlight one piece of phish that just came across the media at the end of December. The United States Federal Trade Commission was aware of a large-scale attack actually going out by somebody pretending to be Netflix. And in this article by Variety.com, you can see here that the email looks pretty convincing and that the legitimate Netflix logo was being used. But if you hover over the link in this call to action to take care of your billing and payment details question, it's not what it claims to be. In other words, it's not netflix.com, but instead this bogus domain login netflixuserverify.com. So a very subtle attack, which if your employees are caught off guard, they may supply some billing information, or in the best case scenario, they're going to lose productivity in the office while they should be attending to other projects or emails. So when you look at things from a holistic perspective, phish in 2019, they're coming from all directions. Whether it's going to be coming in through email, like you just saw with that Netflix example, that makes up about 75 to 85% of all attacks. There's also an emerging vector, which is web. So imagine outside of email, you might start receiving links through things like Slack, Facebook Messenger. There are going to be clever social engineering attacks set out there to get your employees to click on links when they shouldn't. And that's one method that as 2019 comes along, we might see a lot more attacks being reported out in the industries. Lastly is network. Now, this is not the most common form of attack, but perhaps the most sophisticated. Maybe a few percent of the time, you have employees who work remotely. They go to a coffee shop, they use public Wi-Fi, and unbeknownst to them, with that unsecure internet connection, a bad download is put onto their computer. Later on in the day, they go back to the office. They continue working as usual, but silently, this program that's running in the background as a result of the malware download at the coffee shop is now sharing your company information outbound and passing through your firewall without any detection. That is what we call a network phish. So these three forms of phishing comprise the attacks that are going to hit organizations in 2019. And traditionally, some organizations have tried to throttle or try to remove these types of attacks using first anti-spam filters. So as a secure email gateway comes into part of your security hygiene, admittedly, spam will mostly go away. And those are going to be those annoying emails asking you to purchase something. But Phish, which is cleverly authored to attack specific users in your organization and are intelligent attacks by single users, they're going to pass through these anti-spam filters and unfortunately traverse onwards. So what companies do at that point for those more sophisticated attacks is they put into play education services. So in other words, having a course a few times a year to have your employees slow down. Take a look at those emails and not just instinctively click on those links like you saw in that Netflix example just a few minutes ago. But we're all human beings, right? If we're in a situation where we have too many emails at once and we're caught in a moment where we have weakness, we're going to click. And unfortunately, all that education in the world unfortunately won't mean anything at that point. And lastly, some organizations have put together some pretty good firewalls that can stop some forms of spam and phish attacks, which unfortunately are reactive in approach. And what this means is that a lot of these attacks had to have already been identified by industry trends. And unfortunately, the way Phish works, that's not fast enough. And what that means is for 2019, it's best to have a preemptive strategy when it comes to stopping phish. And we'll go over in a little bit how that is done, but long and short, phishers, they're doing their homework. They're taking a look at the internet landscape and they're infecting several different websites, dropping payloads, and maybe a couple weeks after sending out those first rounds of emails or web links. So being able to identify those attacks early on is going to help your security hygiene at your organization by making sure that all of those nascent attacks never make it to your employees to begin with. And with Area 1, we focus on being preemptive in strategy, and we leverage all of those web-based crawls early on in the kill chain to protect not only your email traffic, but also your web traffic within your company walls, and also your network activity that may pass through your firewall outside of the usual email and web-based vectors. And to make sure that you have the best phish protection possible, what Area 1 does is we have an accountability principle. We only charge you for the detections that we make. So we're constantly working around the clock, fighting for your business to come up with machine learner models to crawl the internet at unprecedented paces, to be able to stop malicious emails well above that 99% mark and give you the peace of mind knowing that the most malicious of emails will never make it to your employees' inboxes to begin with, and you won't have to worry about them being caught in a moment of weakness. Now, our accountability strategy is super simple. We charge $10 per malicious phish detection. What that means is that the proof is in our pudding, and we only charge you for what we're able to accurately identify. And getting things in line with your email, web, and network components could not be any easier. There is no upfront cost. There's no time commitment, so you can pull us out at any time. And we can augment your current defenses. So go ahead and keep using your secure email gateway, for example, to stop that spam. Will be a second layer of protection to help stop the phish and be able to give you a best of breed solution for 2019. Now, you're probably wondering at that $10 per phish detection mark, what happens if there's a runaway attack and you start racking up a big bill? Well, we have with Area 1 price protection. So there's a predetermined cap based off of the size of your organization where we can give you the peace of mind. So let's say at a certain dollar threshold, you reach it in June, we'll continue covering you for the remainder of the year at no additional charge. Once you reach that cap, we will keep the lights on and be able to continue detecting Phish for you, so you don't have to worry, again, about the runaway costs. And it's just as simple as that. So with that said, we'll go ahead and move over to the customer portal to show you what things look like the day in the life of an Area 1 customer. This is our Area 1 dashboard, where you're able to take a look at all of the Phish that have come into your organization during the past slice of time. So envision here that things have been running for about, let's say, 30 days, as you see in this box here. We want to make it as easy and informative for you as possible to see how many phishing attacks we've been able to identify. So in this hypothetical scenario, we've hit about 250,000 Phish, and we want to break out to you percentage-wise which vectors have been creating these sum of attacks. So here in the web vector, about 20% of traffic came through web, 76% of that phishing traffic came through by email, and a small sliver on the right for those network-based firewall protections. Whenever you're in our portal, we know you want to be in and out in just a few minutes, so the more you scroll down, the more details you get. But at the top, you always have the high-level aggregate information at your fingertips. Now, this is all nice said and done. However, it might be more useful to you to see what the Phish actually look like. So here, we have a special report section where you're able to see graphically over the past time slice how much Phish you're receiving per day. And malicious is the one we charge that $10 per detection for. So you can see here a line that shows how much Phish have been detected day to day. But we also provide additional detection methods, so things that are marked as suspicious and spoof, which you'll see marked here on the screen. We don't charge for it all. It's part of our comprehensive package there. And as you look down here on the screen, you'll be able to see day by day how much Phish have come into your organization. So for this month of January, as your employees began to come into the office, you'll see that maybe there were 770 malicious attacks on the 9th, whereas on the 6th, it was a little bit higher, around 809. So a little bit more detail here, like striking that rhythm again, the more you scroll down, the more details you get. You have the ability to download reports as well. So of the malicious hits that maybe came in the past 30 days, you want to take a look at, on a granular level, what those emails were, who they were from, who they were to, and so forth. You can be able to take that information offline in Excel format, or click this view link here to be able to take a look at examples from within your web session. So with that said, it couldn't be any easier to learn about phishing trends in your organization. So what we want to do next is show you another method to help you see the value of Phish protection services. So in this detections area, you'll also have some additional graphical information to show you the breakdown of Phish over the past slice of time. Again, whether you're looking at things from a 30-day perspective, a 7-day perspective, or 90-day perspective, you're going to be able to see accurate drill downs of all of the malicious hits that we would have charged $10 per detection for, and the suspicious and spoof hits that we've been able to make. Again, those don't cost anything as part of your subscription to Area 1. Now, you're not always going to be logging into a portal. We do realize that in today's modern economy, people wear several hats. So if you can't log into this portal all the time, don't worry about it. We can let you know whenever a Phish detection has happened at your organization by sending out near real-time alerts. So you can configure an email address, an IT alias, or maybe a few trusted heads at your organization where you'd like to send real-time notifications to. So maybe you're on the train and you have a notification come in on your mobile phone. You'll be able to see your CEO having received a phishing attack, let's say in the past several minutes. You can also output to Slack into a channel for notifications of malicious and suspicious behavior, and also into SIMs. So if you happen to have a log collector, anything like that, where you'd like to be able to see near real-time statistics being drawn in a platform that you're already comfortable with, great. Go ahead and have those pie charts ready for you. We'll have all that information being pushed over to you in a consumable REST API type of push. And as one final takeaway here, we wanted to show you one powerful technique of Area 1 when you happen to be in our customer portal, and that's the ability to see what's going on industry-wide and worldwide. So we've just covered the types of phish that may have hit your organization, but let's just zoom out a little bit and take a look at the most notorious phishers out there, which we've broken down kind of like an FBI top 10 list. And here, we see here on the screen that there's one organization that's made up half of the attacks, and this is an organization called CN1, based out of the People's Republic of China, where if you wanted to learn a little bit more behind what this organization does, you have an overview. In this case, this is an organization that goes after technology and healthcare organizations. If that matches who you are, you'll probably want to scroll down and take a look at more detailed analytics behind what this group does. Some of our customers too, they see the value in taking a look at our so-called FBI-like top 10 list, but they also see additional value in seeing what are the most notorious phishers in their particular industry vertical. So for example, if you happen to be in the information space, you may be surprised to know that this is a very commonly hit phishing space with, let's say, 41,000 unique events over the past 365 days. And you can click on each one of these phishing groups to learn a little bit more. Same thing, click on the name of an organization, scroll down, you'll be able to learn where they're from, what industries they happen to go to, and whatnot. So that's really what comes together for you with the Area 1 customer portal. You have a very quick, easy method to take a look at the phish that have been attacking you in the past slice of time. You have actionable metrics through our reporting. You can set up email notifications if you don't happen to be on this dashboard very often. And with that, it's all about our accountability and demonstrating to you that we can stop the most dangerous phish preemptively and faster than any other players out there. So with that said, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. If you do happen to have any other questions that have come up as a part of this demonstration, please don't be shy. You're more than welcome to email me. My name is Carl Rogers again, carl.rogers@area1.com. And we welcome you to actually take a 15-day spin of our services. So if you want to see what kind of phish that might be attacking your organization that maybe you haven't noticed before, we welcome you to go to this link here, area1.com/email-protection, where we can hook you in to Area 1 services and let you know what's out there. And with that said, thank you so much for joining today. I love that you've been able to watch this video here, and we look forward to answering any questions that you have as part of 2019 and possible phish attacks that may be striking your employees as they come back into the office. Thank you very much. Have a great Wednesday.